What's up, everybody? It's Dave Life, and you joined us with the Chi-Town Atlas Podcast. I got two special guests in the building today, two of my cousins. I got Iowa in the building, and I got Chi-Town in the building. Iowa, introduce yourself, cuz. What's your name?
Daniel Morris, and I'm from Iowa. Des Moines on the map.
That's what's up. Chi-Town, introduce yourself, cuzzo.
Michael Morris from Chicago, Illinois, / Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here. That's good.
That's what's up. So Mike can be found on Instagram at OneKidMike. And Daniel, what's your Instagram?
Oh, D Daniel Shenmue, SHENMUE.
There you go. So this is the deal, y'all. On the Atlas, we like to talk about what's going on, what's going on the map. We try to put things on the map. And tonight, the most important thing we're going to talk about is NBA free agency. NBA free agency. There's a lot going on in free agency right now. We know that tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, free agency starts. And at midnight tomorrow night, there's going to be a moratorium where the NBA offices are closed. Can no business get done other than the deals that are going to be made. And then, if I'm not mistaken, on the 6th of July, the moratorium ends. So it's a lot of things that's going on. What I'm going to be doing, y'all, for Daniel and for Mike, I'm going to be switching back and forth. You won't be able to see it, but I'm going to switch back and forth between the Dave Life TV headlines and the broadcast, because what I want the users to be able to see is the headlines that we're talking about.
Right.
So just to introduce my cousins right quick, both of these guys are NBA aficionados. They love sports. They get into the NBA draft. They get into college basketball. They get into other sports. Tonight we're going to talk about the NBA. So both of these guys are what I would consider two super fans, if not NBA insiders. You following me? So these are my experts. These are my experts. So right now, y'all, let's see. The first thing I want to talk about, I'm just going to go through some of the headlines. And why don't we get right to it? Let's go to Kawhi Leonard. I got a headline here that says Kawhi Leonard is seriously considering joining the Lakers. According to Stephen A. Smith, Leonard will seriously consider the Lakers in free agency. He requested a meeting with Jeannie Buss and Magic Johnson. He did not mention Rob Pelinka. And the league informed the Lakers that Magic could not be a part of it. So let's talk about Kawhi and the possibility he might go to the Lakers. I know you're a huge LeBron fan, Mike. So let's jump straight to you, Mike, and then I'm gonna get with you, Daniel.
Okay. Well, far as that, that's a little bit more news to me, because I see the same headlines, but I didn't know far as them, telling Magic Johnson that he couldn't really be a part of it or whatnot.
Right.
But I definitely heard, far as Stephen A. Smith, that, basically to piggyback on what you were saying, he did request to speak with Jenny and Magic.
Right.
But if you just go back to what happened in the regular season, they've been messing with Magic Johnson the whole year, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He talked to a player, this and that. He was getting fined. He got fined for saying he was going to help Ben Simmons in the offseason. A lot of little stuff that happened with Paul George and et cetera. You know what I mean?
Right. How do you feel?
Kawhi Leonard,
Go ahead.
Go ahead now.
Go ahead, cuz.
I think Kawhi Leonard is most definitely a good pickup. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Do they need him to win a championship? No. Because they can take that same money, because they got money to get a max player, they can take that same money and spread it out through good people that's in the league, like keep a Rajon Rondo, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sound like Derrick Rose, or even have Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench,
right,
backing up Kuzma or whatnot.
Right.
But if they get him, it's most definitely over with. They're going to have the same. They're going to have the same cheat code that Golden State Warriors had for the last 3 years.
I mean, they will have two Finals MVPs in LeBron and Kawhi. But isn't it a surprise, though, that Kawhi is even interested in the Lakers? Because we heard for the longest time, Clippers and Toronto, we never heard nothing about the Lakers. So, Daniel, were you shocked, Daniel, that Kawhi was even interested? And how do you feel about the lineup with AD, LeBron, and Kawhi?
I think it's actually perfect. This would be the first time that LeBron James will actually play point guard, because this time he can actually distribute the ball to two key players. So you might as well say that LeBron is not going to be a first option. He might not even be a second option. He's going to be the third option. He's going to do what Magic Johnson did in his prime. He's going to control the whole floor, and he's going to be a floor general. I can see him averaging anywhere probably about 15 points a game if Leonard decides to side with them. Then you're going to have Anthony Davis or whatever, and you're going to have Leonard. They're probably going to switch on and off, one averaging 24 points a game and another person averaging 28. It could be anybody's game.
It could be anybody. You're right. Yeah. Any given night.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think it's going to happen?
Because they're already talking about because they're talking about that he's already talking with Durant.
Yeah, I heard that.
Talking about
I heard that too, far as Durant. As far as a lot of things that get reported, it don't necessarily just mean it's true. It's just word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And think about this. You know how Durant image would be to go leave and join a team that just beat them in the finals. You just went to a team who you was just up 3-1 against,
right?
And joined them. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, man, I think a lot of these are just rumors that they're putting out from their personal camp.
The players or the teams? The players or the teams, Daniel?
Players. They're doing it because they're trying to get higher stock. They're trying to get more money and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But now, me personally, I don't think he should go anywhere. Right now, he's the king of Canada. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The last person who was the king of Canada was Vince Carter.
And he left.
Vince Carter put them on the map.
But he left, though. He left because they didn't want to spend money or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Now he might have left. Then you had Tracy McGrady, who also left or whatever.
Right.
But to be honest with you, none of them was even close to getting him a championship like later.
True. No, you're right. You're right.
They didn't leave. They
No.
They both got traded. They both traded away from Toronto.
So that brings up another good point. You mentioned, Daniel, that this will be the first time LeBron will be able to play point guard, other than when he was in Cleveland, in his first stint in Cleveland.
Right.
But let's talk about a point guard situation with the Lakers. All right, hold up. Let me pull up the headlines right quick. Pull up the headlines. I know we got some headlines on point guards. Some of the options at point guard is Kemba Walker. Another option is Kyrie. So I'm going to pull up the headline about Kemba. Kemba is going to Boston. Pretty much it's a done deal. Adrian Wojnarowski is announcing that the Celtics are ready to offer Kemba a 4-year, $141 million max contract. So let's talk about Kemba right quick, and then let's talk about a point guard at the Lakers. So here's how I want to set this up. Kemba played for Charlotte. He played for Mike. He was an all-star. They might have made the playoffs maybe once with Kemba. What I'm hearing is...
They made it one time.
One time,
I guess, when they played Miami Heat.
Word. So what I'm hearing is that Jordan don't want to spend the money on Kemba, go into the luxury tax, and still don't make the playoffs. So basically Jordan's saying, we ain't got enough. We got Kemba, but that ain't enough. How y'all feel about that?
That is kind of right. That is kind of accurate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because they've been in the same position, man, for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Even by them signing Kemba back, they still not guaranteed to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So maybe in Jordan mind, he's thinking rebuild too also. But also, something I want to comment on, Jordan is the GOAT of all time. But I personally don't think that he's a good GM or owner, you should say.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of these players in this league, they model their game after him. They look up to him and whatnot.
Right.
You can't really come get nobody to come play that.
Right.
I mean, look, first of all, why would you make Jordan the ambassador of your team? Okay, why would you have Jordan calling these shots? You have to understand, everybody in the NBA look up to him. He's supposed to be the greatest of all time.
Right.
That's a lot of pressure on any player to play under Michael Jordan.
Right.
Kemba, he needs to get out of here. Not only that, I bet you he's going to average probably about 28 points a game playing with the Boston Celtics.
28
or whatever. Yes.
How many did Kyrie? Average last year? Was Kyrie averaging 27?
Kyrie averaged around 23 points a game.
Okay, so the reason I'm disagreeing with 28 points for Kemba is because there's too many people to pass the ball around to. I knew they losing Al Horford. I know that, but it's a lot of people to pass the ball to. So I don't see Kemba playing a lot of isolation and just scoring like he did in Charlotte. I see him scoring 22 to 25 a game. But I think you're right.
Yeah, but
I think they're going to be more efficient than when they had Kyrie Irving.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So look, here's what's happening.
At the end of the day, you had a person that really didn't even really wanted to be there. It was all a front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kyrie was ready to go.
Irving, he brought it all on himself.
Look, man.
When he went up there and demanded the trade.
And on another note, because like, to be honest with you, Kyrie was never really a point guard. He was a combo, one in the two. You know what I'm saying? But I consider him to be more of a shooting guard. Even when he was in Cleveland, LeBron brought the ball down the court most of the time.
Agreed.
So I kind of feel like Boston, like, they don't need Kyrie, but at the same time, Lakers don't need Kyrie also, I think. I don't, look,
Okay.
they get divorced. They separate, okay?
Yeah.
You don't get back with your ex.
Yeah.
It ain't never gonna be the same again.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna never have the same fling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they get back together, they gonna break back up again. Leave them alone.
Good point. So let's jump back into the Lakers point guard situation. So we don't believe. What's up, Mike?
Hey, I don't know. I want to go off that. If I'm Kyrie, I'm going back to my big brother.
Even though y'all had a divorce, even though you forced your way out of Cleveland.
He was not the cause of the divorce. The cause of the divorce was Dan Gilbert. He's one of the same reasons why LeBron James left the first time. Hold on, Dan. Hold on. He's one of the same reasons why LeBron James left the first time.
Okay.
So after they won the ring and whatnot, Kyrie hit that big shot. He found out that his name was in trade discussions to get Paul George. Right. I think we talked about this before also, Dave.
Yeah, we did.
So
but don't forget though.
Wait. He went to management and said, "Y'all trying to trade me?
I want to leave."
Well, I want to leave.
Okay.
And LeBron personally went to them and told them, "Do not trade him at all."
Right.
But then you got Stephen A. Smith, who thinks he know everything. He was even giving out bad information on ESPN.
Shout out to Stephen A. though. Shout out to ESPN.
Yeah,
we still rock with him.
You know what I'm saying?
But hold on though. One part that I'm missing though.
You know, he was saying things as far as like, well, I heard from Kyrie camp and this and that.
I remember that.
It never was that, man.
I remember that.
It really was that Kyrie Irving, and he personally said this through the media. This season that just passed, he said he had to call LeBron. He said he called LeBron and had to tell him that he's sorry and whatnot. You know what I mean? He didn't know it was going to be that much.
Hold on, Mike.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Hold up, though, Mike.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Key word. He apologized. Okay? Meaning he did something wrong. Okay? Now, Kyrie was going around talking crazy also, talking about he wanted his own team. He wanted to feel like he's one of the greatest. He wanted to be a Michael Jordan.
Right.
But Kyrie ain't built like that.
He's not that.
Right.
He's not built like that.
Right.
I don't think he would ever be built like that. Players like that, they're born that way, and they're chosen.
Right.
And Kyrie is not that type of player.
The only person who ever been like that was Mike. Mike felt like he didn't need nobody.
And Mike still needed Pip. He still needed Pip.
But I really believe Mike still
Steve Kerr, John Paxson, Tony Kukoc.
Agreed. But
yes.
But look, so we talked about the point guard situation. Kemba, would Kemba have fit? We don't know, but it's a done deal because Kemba probably going to Boston. Kemba's probably going to be a great fit in Boston. You got Kyrie, who we believe could fit in the Lakers. However, the divorce with him and LeBron it's probably not going to happen. Kyrie probably don't want to go. So that brings us to Brooklyn. Kyrie is pressing for a max deal with Brooklyn. Brooklyn's trying to get it done, but I want to throw in this caveat before we take the floor, before I give y'all the floor. The caveat is they wanted Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant wants to be the master of his own destiny. He don't want to be lobbied. He don't want nobody trying to recruit him. Durant's going to make his own decision when he feel like it. So here's what I want to ask y'all. Number one, should Kyrie go to Brooklyn? Number two, should he go to Brooklyn first without KD? Because if he go without KD, it's almost like forcing KD's hand. Is KD going to go, or is KD going to go to the Knicks, or is KD going to go to the Clippers and get with Kawhi, or is KD going to stay put? So let me start with Daniel since we started with Mike last time. How you feel about Kyrie to the Nets, and should he go first or should he wait for KD?
I think it should have nothing to do with KD, okay? Because he's going to be back in the same situation, big brother, okay? and nobody's going to give him that label that he wants. He wants to be one of the greats or whatever. Me personally, I think he don't need to team up with Durant. I think they have enough in place for him to actually flourish over there in Brooklyn. Let him get somebody else. Not KD, though. Not KD. Anybody but KD with me. Me personally, I think KD should go to the New York Knicks.
Okay,
Okay.
but let's stick with the Nets.
I'm not a Stephen A. Smith guy, but
Let's stick with the Nets for a second, though. So if Kyrie goes to the Nets and don't get no help, assuming that D'Angelo Russell is out of there, right, we're gonna get back on D'Angelo in a second. But if assuming D'Angelo's out of there and assuming that Kyrie goes to the Nets by himself, Daniel, are you saying that they have enough to compete with just the team they have, and you switch out D'Angelo for Kyrie? Can they make it to the playoffs?
No.
Can they do some damage?
No, they're going to need more.
Okay,
they're going to need more.
Okay.
But my whole thing is that KD, he kind of screwed everything up when he went to Golden State. Okay. Now everybody is like, is he one of the greats? That's what everybody keep asking.
Right.
Because he keep hopping on teams or whatever.
Right.
KD has to go into a situation. People might say it's crazy, whatever. But he needs to go into a situation where he's building his own franchise, and the franchise is on his back or whatever stuff. Putting him with Kyrie, the franchise will not only be on his back.
Okay.
He got a lot to prove. This dude is a true 7-footer with probably the most pure jump shot for a 7-footer ever. You know what I'm saying? This guy is complete bucket getter.
Yeah.
He's a bucket getter, man. He needs to prove himself. Because you got LeBron, he went to Miami and got a championship. Then he went back to the Cleveland Cavaliers and got a championship or whatever. This dude's legacy is big.
So
real talented player when he went back there.
So Mike, let's come to you, Mike, with Kyrie going to the Nets. First of all, should he go to the Nets? Is it gonna happen? And if he goes, should he go first or should he wait for Durant to come with? What's up?
Personally, I just want to say this first before I get to Kyrie. Y'all have to understand, AUU basketball took over in the early 2000s until our time now.
Yep.
So this is why a lot of players want to play with each other. They've been used to playing with each other their whole life.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've been used to doing this right now. So this is basically the thing to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or Kyrie, I feel like if he go to Brooklyn without KD coming there at all, I feel like it's the worst free agency move in history.
Wow.
And I'm going to say history.
Wow.
Why I say by history? Because they have no team at all.
Wow.
So basically by Kyrie making that move, to me is like, he comfortable with just winning that one chip with LeBron. Because you're not going to win nothing else.
Okay, let me jump in right quick, cuz worst move in free agency history. All right, I want to bring something up. Someone talked about, I believe it might have been someone on ESPN. They talked. It was Stephen A. And he was talking to Max and them. They were talking about how Carmelo Anthony could have been the third member of the Miami Heat other than Chris Bosh, but a year prior, he took the money to, I want to say, go to New York. No, it wasn't New York. He took the money to do like an extension with Denver or something like that. But it was like a max extension. He took the money early instead of waiting a year. So now he takes the money early. He stays with Denver. He gets his extension. It was like $80 million for 4 years. It's only $20 million a year.
He never really became an unrestricted free agent.
He never became an unrestricted free agent, right? He got the extension, takes the $80 million for 4 years. The next year, LeBron opts out, D-Wade opts out, Chris Bosh opts out. Bam, Miami super team. It was supposed to be D-Wade, LeBron, and Carmelo. So when you said the worst move in free agency history, it might have been Melo picking up that option instead of waiting a year and getting with his boys. Because Melo would have had 2 championships by now, maybe more. Because Melo was a better offensive threat.
Right, you're right about that. But Melo felt like he was in a good move.
He went for money
to even get traded to New York. That's where he wanted to be.
Right, but he went for the money.
For the money, and plus he didn't want to deal with free agents. He went to the town that he loved growing up as a kid.
So should Kyrie go for the max contract, get the money that he's going to get, whatever they're trying to offer Kyrie? Should he do that in Brooklyn, or should he go ahead, humble himself, get back with LeBron, or should he let some chips fall? Maybe go to the Clippers, maybe go somewhere else where they got max money.
He need a max contract, man. He got to get a max contract.
More of a foundation. Clippers sound good. It's plenty. I can name 5, 6 teams that sound way better than Brooklyn. Brooklyn has nobody. You know what I mean?
I mean, they did make the playoffs last year.
I can't even name you 6 players on 18. And I watch basketball every day.
I agree, but they did make the playoffs last year. And I mean, would you say the Clippers are a better team than Brooklyn? Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
You see what they do.
And they also have a better coach.
They definitely have a better coach. So, all right, look, let's talk about. Let me see who we got next on the headlines. We talked about.
Hey, before you go to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn did make the playoffs.
Hold on,
it was in the East, and in the East, you don't have to have a 5.
Before you guys move on,
yeah,
don't forget though, is what you were saying about Carmelo going to Miami or whatever.
Yeah,
and things like that. Now, also you got to remember that he played against LeBron in AAU.
Right.
And things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he wanted to just join up with LeBron, even though that was his friend. Because remember, when he first came into the NBA, he was second coming to LeBron. Every time they talked about him on TV, Carmelo Anthony was always second. Right. I don't think he wanted to play up under LeBron, to be honest with you. Why not go for a max deal than to live with somebody on shadow and be a Scottie Pippen?
That's a good point. I mean, but then at the same time, right? At the same time, we can talk about being up under somebody's shadow like Pip. We could talk about Kevin Durant going to a super team. But I want to say this, y'all. The NBA is about rings. Your legacy is about rings.
Exactly.
Yo, you could be Melo. You could be playing 17 years like LeBron, or however many it's been since 03, 16 years since like LeBron. And you could have 3 rings like Bron, or you could have a donut like Melo. You could play so many years like Barkley, not get a ring. Ewing, not get a ring. So all I'm saying is, I hear what people saying about don't join a super team. Don't ask for help. I can do it myself. But yo, man, when you start getting into your 10th, 11th year, and you ain't got no rings, pull a Durant and go get the ring. I'm not mad at people for going to get the ring. They got to get the rings.
I'm not mad at them at all. I'm not mad. Like right now, you're gonna have 2 more people.
So you want to be like Jeremy Lin?
Hey, Lin got a ring.
we talking about.
Nah, dog. It don't work like that. It ain't worth shit.
Listen, man. We talking about real.
This ring is worth nothing.
Actually, done made all-star teams.
Right.
You know what I mean? First team all defense. First team. You know, everything with first team. Chris Paul's gonna be on that list, and I really think James Harden gonna be on that list as a person that don't win no titles.
See, that's why I like Damian Lillard. Okay, because he said it with the Trailblazers. He ain't chasing for no rings. He ain't that type of player. Me, I do think at the end game, each NBA team, their number one goal is to get a ring. But that doesn't mean that's every individual player goal.
Agree.
Because I don't think that's the case at all. The franchise, that's the goal. But for some of these NBA players, that's not the goal at all.
Bet.
They not thinking right. Well, hey, what was the goal when Gary Payton and Karl Malone joined the Lakers?
A ring.
You ever heard of Agent Zero?
Come on, let's talk about him.
Yeah, he with Big 3 right now.
Did he play? Is he in the Big 3 yet?
They can't. Yeah, they on Big 3. They hit the game.
Hold on, though.
I don't know far as the final score or whatnot, but they hit the game.
But check this out, though. Agent Zero had one of the sweetest contracts because he went for that money.
He did.
They still paying this dude out. It was like $120 million contract they had to pay out to this guy.
Right.
He got his money.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go for that money, man. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. Sometimes you have to go for it.
I understand what you're saying, though, Daniel, but when he got that contract, that was still in his prime. You know, he wasn't even, matter of fact, I don't think he can really reach his prime yet. He's like 26, 27. He out the league because of injuries.
Injuries, yeah.
If he was in the league right now, I guarantee you he would be at a winning team.
All right, but look at it this way, though. Look at Kevin Durant.
He even talked about it before on his podcast when he had a chance to go to the Lakers.
Right. So hold on, fellas.
He was supposed to back up Steve Nash, and he declined.
Let's jump off Agent Zero for a second.
He wanted that money.
He wanted that money. Let's jump off Agent Zero. Get back to a headline real quick. Clay, Klay Thompson, man. The Warriors going to offer Klay a 5-year, max $190 million contract. Everyone believes that that's pretty much a done deal. We don't need to stay on that topic too long, but do you think Klay is doing the right thing by staying with the Warriors?
Yeah.
Original Splash brother. He has to.
Stay there.
Enough said.
Him and Stephen Curry, stay. You know what I mean?
Original.
Them two, the foundation. Stay there.
Original Splash brother. I agree.
Splash brothers.
All right, so
talking about the snake now.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Houston right quick, and let's talk about Jimmy Butler. Got a headline up that says Butler will be aggressively pursued by Houston. They're saying that the Rockets are planning to ask Jimmy Butler to pursue a trade with the 76ers through a sign and trade. Sign on and get traded to the Rockets. But the Rockets will need to remove some players, and they'll need a third team. And the players that they were... Who were the players that they were asked? They were talking about getting rid of Clint Capella.
One of the main ones is Capella.
Capella and Eric Gordon.
Yeah, they think Capella going.
It'll be a disaster.
Kimber.
It'll be a disaster, man. Just think about it. Harden and Butler on the same team. Butler ain't never gonna touch the ball.
He will, but it'll be a fist fight.
Butler is not a player that gotta have the ball on his
24/7
game.
You guys know Butler don't play that. That is an alpha male. When he gets in that locker room and those guys ain't producing, Butler gonna hurt somebody in that Houston locker room.
He's supposed to speak the truth. He's supposed to do that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. I don't think it's a good look.
James Harden continue the way he's doing. Kobe Bryant even said it. He said the game style that James Harden plays. He's a great player, a great scorer. Don't get me wrong. He would never win the championship.
Right.
You're never going to win the championship playing isolated basketball.
Right. Because it's good for the regular season and it's good for, like you said, isolation ball. It's good to win games in the regular season. In the playoffs, you got to play as a team.
They watching
isolation ball is over, man.
They're watching too much film for one. Then for two, they focus on everything. They already know what you're going to do.
Right.
And this is to go into the Chris Paul situation. I'm thinking he one of them players telling James Harden, man, you got to do this more, do this. And James Harden ain't trying to listen. He's like, man, I've been doing this before you get here.
Right.
How are you going to try to tell me to do this?
So, yeah,
I think Chris Paul really telling him something that's right. You know what I mean?
So do y'all believe that Chris Paul demanded a trade? We're looking at the headline right now that Chris Paul demanded a trade and that following their second round loss to the Warriors that they had a blow up on the court, him and Harden. Do we believe that that's a rumor that somebody put out, or did Chris Paul really say he ready to bounce?
The correct rumor.
A lot of people don't like Chris Paul.
The correct rumor that I heard was James Harden went to the office, said that he don't want to play with him no more. He told him it's either him or me.
So it was Harden, not Paul. That's what you're hearing?
It's Harden. It's Harden, not Paul.
Word. Now, Dan, you said a lot of people don't like Chris Paul. Look, man.
Now, people can say that it's Harden all they want. But one thing I do know, there's rumors out there about Chris Paul being one of the most hated players in the NBA.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Ever. He's hard to get along with. He's a big baby.
Yeah.
I done heard so many things about this guy.
And you know what? I love Chris Paul. I like him as a player. I think he plays hard. Now, is Chris Paul dirty? Now I'm like this with Chris Paul being dirty. They used to say John Stockton was dirty. I think John Stockton played hard. I don't know if Stockton was dirty. Chris Paul plays hard. But Chris Paul has done some moves on some characters that I ain't like, man. And I'm like, I don't know, Chris bordering on being dirty. I'm not trying to slander the man, but I'm just putting out facts. People don't like Chris Paul. So the whole Cliff Paul with the mustache and I'm a nice guy, and then you got Chris Paul, I don't know, man. Chris Paul might be a little dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Now, think about the State Farm commercial.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't understand about the State Farm commercial, he's making fun of himself. That's the whole idea of the commercial that people don't understand. It's satire about himself. You have the nice Chris Paul, then you got the other Chris Paul or whatever.
Right.
And things like that. Because people say he got split personality. I mean, he's the president of the Players Union or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So many people do not like this guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mark Jackson used to be the president also.
John Stockton was definitely dirty. One day, you know, we're gonna have to we gonna have to upload this video on Daylight TV to show y'all Pacific play with John Stockton and Michael Jordan being into it one time.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do a
Hold on. Not Mark Jackson. Derek Fisher used to be the president of
so you're making a correlation between Fish being dirty with Matt Barnes and messing with Matt Barnes' ex-wife. Yeah. I'm with you, Cuzzo. But Mike, you make a good point. We're gonna have to do a Legends version of the Chicago Atlas where we talk about the NBA legends, man. We're gonna definitely have to do that. All right, y'all, we back with the Chi-Town Atlas Podcast. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I think the last couple of headlines we want to talk about. How about? Go ahead, Mike. You like that?
Man, we gotta talk about the legend.
All right, let's
talk about the legendary Rose.
Let's talk about it.
But I still gotta wear the colors because I love the colors.
No doubt.
Should the board offer Derrick Rose the contract? Yeah, but look at the people you got in the front office. There's nothing happening.
Okay.
That man almost averaged 80 points last year. Played like 65 games. He had a good run.
Yeah, he did. So the rumor is that the Pistons are willing to offer Derrick Rose a 2-year contract. We don't know the contract value, but they want to offer him a 2-year deal. I'm assuming that they're going to give him either a team option or player option for the second year. That's what I'm assuming. Probably a team option because he's been hurt before. How do you feel? Mike? I know you mentioned it a little, but how do you feel about D Rose? I know the Bulls. Some of your audio went out a second ago. So how do you feel about D Rose going to the Pistons? How do you feel about his year last year with the Timberwolves, and how do you feel about his career with the Bulls? And then Daniel, I'm gonna go to you.
Man, his career with the Bulls, man, it's supposed to went down in history.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to blame it on Coach Tier because he was in the game versus Philadelphia with like 2 minutes left when he shouldn't even been in the game before he got hurt. But, you can't really blame it off that. It's basketball. It's a contact sport.
Right.
It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Derrick Rose even said he did a dumb, stupid move as far as doing the jump step. He shouldn't even been doing it at all.
Yeah.
But for his career with the Bulls, I think it was a good career. But we never really got a chance to see that man in his prime. When he won the MVP, he was not in his prime.
He was on the rise. He was coming up.
He was on the rise. You know what I mean? He was just blossomed. You know what I mean? He was turning into a player that he really can be. He was Westbrook before it was the Westbrook. You know what I mean?
All day.
Man, he was like an athletic freak of nature. I never forget when Wade and LeBron was going up against. They knew it was trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this man was that good.
He was that good.
And for him to come back and have the year that he had last year, he dropped 50 points in one game.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if y'all watched the award show.
Yeah.
Or him pass out the trophy. I think he won comeback player of the.
No, he won moment of the year. Moment of the year.
Moment of the year. Excuse me.
Moment of the year. Was he dropped that 50 on him? Yeah.
When he dropped the 50 piece on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, for a person who went through all that and still able to score 50 points in the game, that's love. Man, when I seen that brought me chills.
Absolutely.
I seen the intensity in this man's eyes, how he felt. Man, that really touched him. You know what I mean? Because he felt like he'd been through a lot.
Hey, so real quick.
He's still here.
Real quick with
you. It didn't bring me tears. I'm just going to say that.
Oh.
No tears came to me. But now, don't get me wrong. Okay? What happened, that was extraordinary, man. I'm glad to see this young man back on his feet.
Yeah.
Because he was struggling for a while. Not only that, when you're doubting your body,
you
know what I'm saying? And you thinking, do you still have it? And some of it is not just physically, but it's mentally.
Yeah.
No, a lot of
the crazy part about it, though, Detroit?
Right.
You know Chicago is.
I know.
Out of all the places,
hey, look at
Detroit,
that. You're right. It's Bulls all day. It's Bulls all day.
Exactly.
I am not.
He shouldn't go to Detroit. He shouldn't go to Detroit.
Hey, check this out, Dave. I really feel like the man deserves a contract he's getting.
Right.
I ain't talking about no max.
No, he gonna get a contract.
Wait up. He at least deserves getting at least about 10 to 15 million a year. Not the $2 million, the veteran minimum.
Right.
The one that he got last year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, he had to take that because his year in Cleveland was uneventful. So he came back. He went to Cleveland. Well, he was at New York, up and down. He went to Cleveland, uneventful. He got traded. So he had to take the veterans minimum because he had to prove to the league he could do it. He proved to it on that 50-point night. But I'm gonna say this, y'all. As much as I want him to get $15 million a year, $10 million a year, I think he's gonna get 7 to 8. I hope he get 15. I hope somebody throw money at him and he get 15.
Give him his money.
But he probably gonna get. I don't know who they got in Detroit, Daniel. Who's in Detroit right now, y'all? They got Blake Griffin. They got Andre Drummond.
Blake Griffin. I thought he was supposed to be a part of it. I don't know. I thought he was a free agent.
Is he leaving?
I thought he was a free agent. I know he voiced it about not really wanting to be with them no more or whatnot. But I ain't gonna lie, Blake Griffin, he played very, very well last year with the Pistons.
He did, but didn't he get hurt? Didn't he get injured at the end of the year?
He got injured at the end of the year, but that man developed a three-point shot. He's not the Blake Griffin, the dunker that we all used to know.
So they got Blake, they got Andre Drummond. Who was at the point guard last year?
Reggie Jackson.
And is he gone? Is he leaving? That's why they want Derek?
He's still there. He's still there. But if Rose should be starting, Reggie Jackson should be coming off the bench. Point blank period.
You think
that ain't gonna happen though.
You think they should play Rose at the combo position, at the 2 guard, like a combo, and let Reggie play the point?
Hey, that would work too.
That's what they should do.
That's what they should do.
That'll work.
That's what they should do. But he's not about to start over Bruce Brown, so he gonna be coming off the bench or whatever and stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay. All right, but look, we happy about D Rose getting a contract, possibly getting a contract. So I did want to speak real quick. Giannis won MVP. We know that. I had that on Dave Life TV. Congrats to Giannis. They dropped his new shoot yesterday. The Zoom Freak won. That's also on Dave Life TV. I'm just looking at the awards real quick, y'all. Who else won? We have Luka Doncic won. He wins the Rookie of the Year. So we got Luka. We have Pascal Siakam. He won Most Improved of the Year. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert won Defensive Player of the Year. And then Lou Williams won Sixth Man of the Year.
Lou Williams won 6 years.
And then you ain't like that one?
The big one is the Rookie of the Year. But I think Trae Young balled out.
Okay.
No, Trae Young didn't come out the gate doing.
Trae Young balled out too.
Trae Young didn't come out the gate balling though. That was the whole thing. Not only that, hold on. I seen this dude interview. And they asked him or whatever, why do you think you should get MVP? All you got to do is watch the interview. He know he wasn't going to get it, and he know he shouldn't have gotten it or whatever, things like that, which he didn't get or whatever, because he had a couple of months where he did good. Then he had other months where he did horrible.
Now, Luka plays for Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Did Dallas make the playoffs? Dallas did not make the playoffs. Okay, so, Atlanta did not make the playoffs. Who had more wins, Atlanta or Dallas?
Atlanta.
Atlanta had more wins than Dallas?
Yeah, I think Atlanta had more wins than Dallas. Dallas is like a 10th, 11th team.
It don't even matter, man, but
they trash.
This dude is something special, boy.
Yeah.
He don't care. He don't care at all.
Okay.
I ain't never seen somebody who don't care.
Hold on, y'all. Two more awards. We already talk about Derrick Rose getting Moment of the Year for his 50-point game, and then Coach Mike Budenholzer got Coach of the Year. And if I'm not mistaken, Budenholzer, he coaches the Bucks, right?
Yeah, the Bucks.
Should it have been the coach?
That's why I don't like the award show.
What about MVP though? You guys gotta talk about the MVP. Do you guys think Harden should have got the MVP?
No.
I know we're running out of time here, fellas, but just let me speak on two things real quick.
What's up?
James Harden, MVP.
The awards, they shouldn't be given out like that. Back in the day, man, it was giving people MVP awards. You know what I mean? Game 2 in the Eastern Conference Final or Western Conference Final.
Right.
And I never forget AI holding up the MVP award, getting the crowd hyped. You know what I mean?
Still doing the playoffs. Yeah.
Still doing the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, look at, even though the Bucks coach, he did good, well, you got a Toronto coach who just came in. Who was
That's what I was going to say. He probably should have. But see, he went off.
He had a better record than Milwaukee.
Not in the regular season. Not in the regular season.
Coach of the year?
Not in the regular season. Milwaukee had the best record in the league, in the entire league.
Yeah, you're right. They did about a few games, but that was it.
But see, this is the question about the MVP race. any of the awards, should they wait until the end of the finals? Should you not award anything? Like, don't let it be a regular season award. Let it go all the way through the playoffs. And then award the MVP, not of the regular season, but of the entire league.
Entire league.
Well, they do have an NBA MVP finals. You know what I'm saying?
The finals MVP.
Like Right. So it's going to be hard to kind of have both. My whole thing is, I remember the way they used to choose MVP, it had a lot to do with your stats or whatever and things like that. Now they're kind of going away from that or whatever with the whole two-way player thing. You know what I'm saying?
And
they're trying to say that in order for you to get MVP, you need to be on both sides of the court now.
Well, let's be honest.
They want you to be average a decent amount, like you said, and they did go away far as the stats. Because you see, you're right about that. James Harden is average 36.
But let's talk about that. The MVP back in the day, it used to go to the team that had the best record, right? The best record, and the best player on that team usually won. But that's not all the time true, because it could have been the highest scorer, like Jordan, the highest scorer. I think it's not all about points, y'all. It is about being on both sides of the ball. Steve Nash, you're right. He was dropping them. He was dropping them dimes, though, Daniel. He was dropping them dimes. He did, because he was dropping them dimes. Go ahead, Mike.
Like what you just said, Dave. You're right. It's all about points. Do you remember when Steve Nash won back to back?
He did, because he was dishing them assists. He was dishing them assists.
He shouldn't have got it, though. He shouldn't have got it. Not over Shaq.
Maybe not.
No, I think he deserved it. He deserved it.
First of all, Shaq is a two-way player. Shaq is on both sides of the ball.
True.
You ain't never said, "Oh man, Steve Nash, he really locked that player down that night." You ain't never said that.
Listen, they had like the best record in the Western Conference.
Okay. So there is a debate, y'all. Let's lace this up, and we're gonna call a close to the Chicago Atlas, because we're at our time limit. But let's lace it up. Let's put a bow on it like this. There's an argument about what the most valuable player is. Is it the best player on the best team, or is it the best player on a team that maybe wasn't the best? Because LeBron, when he left Cleveland won like 15 games or 20 games the next year. So LeBron was truly the most valuable player on that team. So it's a big debate about that, and it's probably never going to get settled. But I like the way it's going right now, because let's be honest, y'all. LeBron could win every year. Harden could win almost every year because of his scoring. Durant could probably almost win every year because of his scoring. So, it's people that do different things. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to say triple doubles, Westbrook could have won the last 3 years because of triple doubles alone. So I'm just saying there's a big debate.
If you can't get to the NBA playoffs, you don't get it.
I kind of agree with that one. So that means your team's record has something to do with it, Daniel. There it is.
It's supposed to. All
right.
You got to help the team.
So look, y'all, here's what we're going to do. We're going to close it out. We did not get a chance to talk about R.J. Barrett, Zion, John Morant. We didn't talk about the draft because we were on the free agency. But we're at our time limit, so we're going to close this out for this episode of the Chi-Town Atlas Podcast. This your man Dave Life with Dave Life TV. I got my man Mike Morris. He's out there in Chi-Town. I got my man Daniel Morris. He out there in Iowa. We holding it down. We here. It's fam. One love, y'all. Peace out.
Love.